Rochelle, I love you. I've never met a person as caring and as loving as you. I find myself smiling randomly while I think about you and the path we have travelled together. I'm
a cameraman and photographer and have been for the past 17 years. Hi, I'm Brett Tiley, and this is why I think same-sex marriage is a great idea. I've shot everything from films, TV shows and commercials, yet it's been over the last 6 years that I've been mostly involved with shooting weddings. I love shooting and editing weddings. They are often quite harder than shooting other formats, but the reward is much, much greater. From the moment that I arrive when the groom is feeling nervous and constantly reminding the best man not to forget the rings, to the bride getting her hair done and makeup done, preparing in her head when the groom first sees her walking down the aisle and they say their vows. It is a day of joy, a day of emotion and a day of love. Everyone is there to celebrate the couple coming together, and you can feel the excitement in the air. Until the celebrant, by law, has to say this one line.
Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusions of all others.
Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life.
Marriage, according to law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life.
And immediately you can see and feel the levels drop quite a few decibels in that brief moment until the celebrant moves on to the next line. However, that was not the line that was always there. It wasn't until John Howard took it upon himself to change the Marriage Act to redefine marriage as between a man and a woman. No doubt there are some that agree with that statement, and I respect your opinion, but I've heard all the arguments and simply don't agree. First and foremost, allowing same-sex marriage will dramatically have an impact on my business. As a wedding cinematographer and photographer, it has been estimated that $650 million will be injected into the economy each year just from same-sex marriages alone. That's a lot of dollars that I would be silly to ignore. Secondly, the term traditional marriage is problematic.
I think that there are lots of terrific gay relationships, lots of terrific commitments between gay partners, but I just don't think that marriage is the right term to put on it.
Marriage has been around as long as civilization, and traditionally marriage was not entered into entirely voluntarily. Traditionally, marriage was used for political and business purposes, or to keep wealth within a family structure. You even had brothers and sisters marrying so the wealth of the family could stay in the family. Luckily, over time, the idea of traditional marriage has changed, and people marry voluntarily for love and not for reasons of wealth or geopolitical reasons.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are here today to celebrate the very special love between Kate and Matt by joining them here in marriage. We all dream of finding that one person who will love us unconditionally.
And love is the reason why I love what I do. I don't care if they're heterosexual or not. Capturing two people coming together in love gives me joy in what I do that I've not found in any other medium.
We are gathered here together to celebrate the very special love between Natalie and Brendan by joining them in marriage. All of us need and desire to love and to be loved, and the highest form of love between the two people is within a committed relationship.
Essentially, same-sex marriage is a civil rights issue. Why should I or anyone prevent two people coming together and expressing their love for each other? It's only a small proportion of people who are expressly excluded from this, and in no way, shape or form does it affect anyone else. I won't go into the no arguments except to say pretty much all of them I've seen and heard have absolutely nothing to do with same-sex marriage.
Marriage, according to the law in Australia, is the union of a man and a woman to the exclusion of all others voluntarily entered into for life. While Daniel and Rochelle accept the previous statement as required by law, Daniel and Rochelle and myself would like to acknowledge that they believe any strong, loving and healthy relationship deserves to be recognised and celebrated. We look forward to the day when all couples have the opportunity and choice to marriage in Australia.
Whilst I'm legally obliged to read the previous statement, by law, Declan and Lauren would like to acknowledge that they believe any strong, loving and healthy relationship deserves to be recognised and celebrated. It's not so much whom you love, but rather how you nurture and treasure that love, which is important. We look forward to the day when all couples have the opportunity and choice to marry in Australia.
The only thing that will change is that one line that is repeated throughout the country whenever people come together to express their love for each other.